Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your Realtor Hugo here with another live. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. It is my pleasure to have you here for another daily real estate live, a space 10 to 15 minutes a day to learn about real estate and how it can impact you and those around you. Because as we all know, it's getting more expensive than ever to buy a home, but it is not impossible. And savvy home buyers will tell you that putting one foot in front of the other will get you across the finish line. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, I am Hugo Quintanilla, a licensed realtor in Maryland with Long and Foster. If you have any questions, feel free and reach out. No charge. Phone number 240-389-4846. Email hugo at lnf.com. Website yourrealtorhugo.com. And that's all just in an attempt to maybe audition for your business. So feel free and reach out, ask questions. As we all know, these are very difficult times for many of us, and it is more difficult than ever to learn about real estate from mainstream media sources. Most mainstream media sources will tell you that, hey, it is just unaffordable, that people don't want to sell, that this and that, and the numbers are really scary. But every market is different, and you have to realize that there are opportunities everywhere. So, as Yahoo News reported this evening, there are certain markets in the United States that are definitely seeing price decreases. Now, please look into those markets individually. And as always, work with a licensed real estate professional when in that particular market, because you always want to be well represented. And actually, speaking of representation, about 76% of surveyed answered for Bright MLS's survey for their clientele. They said that 76% of respondents believe that having an agent represent them is crucial to the home buying process. So 76% is about three-fourths of the population believe that. And I think a lot of us know how daunting it can be to purchase a home on your own. And yeah, let's just keep it moving. Today, like I said, we were going to be talking about something a little bit different that we don't typically talk about just because of fair housing. But today, we're going to talk about the why of how local schools affect home values in Gaithersburg and Rockville. Have you ever really wondered how local schools impact home values in properties? It's really more than just grades. It matters a lot. And we actually just got a new superintendent today about from previous police experience. So very interesting choice for Montgomery County schools, if you didn't know. So this is going to be right on time for a lot of much needed discussion of why schools are so important and why schools are so good in this area. The impact of local schools on home values. You got to understand the connection. First, schools with higher ratings can boost nearby home values. For example, homes near top rated schools in Rockville often sell faster. Why buyers care about schools? Families prioritize education for their kids. Even buyers without kids consider future resale value. And I'll be honest with you, in certain markets, there's least potential there. When I was in college at the University of Maryland, we stayed at a property that was off campus right next to the metro station. So a property like that can be highly lucrative for you into the future, especially if you buy it at a good time. Number 3, school ratings matter. Great schools ratings are a key factor for many buyers. High ranked schools can increase property values anywhere from 5 to 10%. So you can imagine good schools do matter. And of course, we all want our children to have the best education. But we all know that sometimes getting into these particular neighborhoods can be very difficult. So don't stress yourself out. You can always supplement their education with other sources, other ways of entertainment and media. Remember, your children's education is not just a matter of the public school system. It's a matter of you and your direct involvement with that person, because a lot of people expect um, government organizations to do everything for them. And I get it, to a certain degree, your tax dollars should, cover a lot of this stuff. And you have a lot. You have a lot going on. There's stuff going on. There's stuff happening. You can't teach your kid math. But I think through the pandemic, we all saw how beneficial it can be to have a parent involved in a child's life, and how little school can impact a child's education when it's not done correctly. So it's not just a matter of having the kids show up, it's a matter of actually having them digest the information, integrate it into their life, and build from there. Because education without action is information, and that really doesn't help too many people too much of the time. But number 4, proximity to schools. Walking distance to schools is a big plus. Safe and easy commutes are attractive to many families. One of the first schools that I went to was within walking distance of my first home. So I was very, very fortunate. There was a big old hill. It was so huge when I was a kid. It was so scary to drive up because you couldn't see all the way up there. And yeah, it took me a long time for me to have permission to go down there by myself. But, for a long time, we would walk it with my parents or with some sort of like chaperone or guardian. And it was fun. It was a great way growing up, appreciating the stroll, appreciating the elements. It was different back then. Probably what age was that? Probably circa 1994, probably. Let's see. Number 5. Local examples. Gaithersburg High School's reputation boosts nearby property values. We've seen actually a lot of companies like that a lot. So we have a Wawa now over there. So there's a great plus when there is a good school around. It can really boost property values and bring a lot of much needed opportunity to the area. That's bringing in a lot of jobs. It's a huge gas station, and it's really lucrative. I remember in college we had one around the corner, and it was always on. Oh man, that place was bumping. But very good food, and yeah, worth a visit because it's very new. I think they just inaugurated it earlier in March or April, maybe even as early as February. So very, very cool stuff. Look at recent sales in area for proof of the school effect and whether or not a school is helping or hurting a property area. Number 6, investment considerations. Properties near good schools are smart investments. Consistent demand makes for a stable rental market, and that's just landlord 101. 7, selling your home. Highlight school information. Mention nearby schools in your listing. Provide information on school ratings and achievements. I will caveat that by saying that be careful what market you are in. That is not applicable to all markets, and you do not want a fair housing violation. So make sure that you are discussing that with your realtor about whether or not you can or should discuss the schools openly in your listing. I like to err on the side of not and caution and no. So if they'd like to find out what schools the home is with, they can obviously look it up. It's very easy, and we can provide the information for it. But to tell them exactly what school it's going to be, no. It just, there's unfortunately too much fluctuation in where school boundary lines go. And we've had problems in the past where schools have changed their boundary lines, and homeowners were expecting their children to grow into certain schools, and unfortunately they don't. So that is a huge problem. No one wants to buy a home and have their school, be changed out on them. So all very real problems for everyone involved. Number 8, leasing properties near schools. Rentals near schools often have low vacancy rates, and families prefer rentals in good school districts. Even if it's not directly in that school district, if it's within commuting distance and the child is in their last year, I believe, you can commute over. So, there are a lot of flexibility in schools. You just need to find out what you want to do and how you want to handle it. Because remember, heaving a child is quite difficult. You never want to deroot someone. But at the same time, if it's a move that's positive and beneficial for everyone, then it's kind of one of those things that everyone mm, to some degree has to do, move and start a life somewhere else at some point. Number 9, long-term market trends. Homes in good school districts often hold their value better, less affected by a market downturn. And last one for today, the number 10, the government, the Gaithersburg Rockville advantage. Both areas boast excellent schools. This adds long-term value to properties in these regions. That's why I love this area. I grew up around here. I really specialize in it. Rockville was where I was born and raised, and Gaithersburg is where I came to after I graduated college. So I've been very fortunate to work in a lot of great establishments in this area. Unfortunately, the majority of them are kind of no longer with us, just the way the pandemic ended up shaking everything out. But, you know, we learn, we grow, and luckily I'm fortunate enough to be able to do this today. And I live in a world where I can communicate with so many of you so quickly, so fast, so honestly, and teach you guys this stuff free of charge, with nothing really more than just a recommendation from you guys. If you know anybody that needs help, let them know. I'm always willing and able to help people out. Just make an appointment. Don't get offended if I don't call you back, because I work on appointments, people. Come on now. Can't just be here and there everywhere. I need a life too. All right. At any rate, if you're just joining us, we were talking about how local schools affect home values in Gaithersburg and Rockville. To recap, number one, understand the connection. Schools with high rankings can boost nearby homes. Why buyers care about schools? Families prioritize education. It's just a plus. Number three, school rankings matter. It's just a fact. Number four, proximity to schools. Walking distance to school is a big plus. Number six. Number five, local examples. Gaithersburg High School is a great example to look into. Number six, investment considerations. Properties near good schools are smart investments. Number seven, selling your home. Highlight school information. Mention nearby schools in your listing. But remember that that's not the smartest thing to do in every market. So make sure that you're letting your real estate professional know whether or not you want to do that. Number eight, leasing properties nearby schools. Rentals near schools often have lower vacancy rates, and that's just the law of supply and demand. Number nine, long term market trends. Homes in good school districts hold their value better. And the last but not least, the Gaithersburg Rockville effect. Both areas have great schools, so you don't really have to worry about too much. The other thing too, I will highly recommend if you are an out of towner or don't know too much about the area, Montgomery County schools are actually quite good. Um, I could probably maybe even venture enough to say all of them, but I think a lot, again, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of education comes from other sources than just school. I remember growing up that a lot of teachers that I had were outside the classroom, and it really made a difference. I was just talking to um, someone about education in Taekwondo and martial arts and how pivotal that was for my upbringing and growing up. I was doing it since the age of 6. So it was one of those things that it really helped shape me and form me and gave me a great insight into my own capabilities as a person and as a human being. It's an incredible art. So feel free and, take advantage of the things that you learn along the way, because like I mentioned earlier, you never know when these corporations or these things might disappear. And keep growing, keep evolving, keep changing, keep learning. And if there's anything real estate related that you have a question about, let me know. I'm always available to help you out. 240-389-4846 is the phone number. Hugo at lnf.com is the email, and your realtor Hugo.com is the website. Take care. I will see you all tomorrow. And just to give you guys a heads up, because we finally worked out a lesson plan for this month. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about real estate trends in Montgomery County. It's Thursday. I owe you guys some numbers, actually, for the month the last month. I've been telling you guys the stats, but I haven't given you guys the actual numbers. So I need to catch up on that. And yeah, I will see you guys in a few minutes for the mental health check-in. Please join me. I welcome you all. Not 100% sure what it's going to be on, but we will see. So stay tuned. Take care. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye.